y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mira and you're watching Beauty Curated with Mira in mind. This is a series where I'll share all of my beauty secrets, hacks, and things like that. And yeah, I'm really giving y'all the inside scoop on how I do what I do. So in this episode, we're talking about how to get the perfect braid out routine. Now, if you're new here and if you don't really know anything about me, I've been doing braid outs since college and I would consider myself a little bit of a pro at this point. And here's the proof. I have used braid outs as a means to transition over the years because I haven't always been natural. And even when I was natural, when I first started, when I was in college, I had a lot of heat damage, color damage, breakage, all the damage you can think of I had. And so I was really starting with a terrible foundation, but this particular routine kind of helped disguise all of that. So it doesn't really matter if your hair is not fully natural or if you're transitioning or if you have some heat damage. My routine is going to help disguise all of that and give you a seamless look every single time. So let's get into the steps of the routine. I start off every single braid out with a wash day. No matter what, no matter how long ago it has been since I washed my hair, or no matter how recent it's been since I washed my hair, I am washing my hair again every single time. And if you want long-lasting, defined results, you need to be using products that your hair is longing for in that moment. So for me, typically I like to use some sort of clarifying and hydrating wash day routine. I go in with my Bond Bar clarifying shampoo. Super great at getting any sort of buildup, any sweat, dirt, gel, mousse, whatever out of my hair. And then I immediately follow that up with my L'Oreal Hyaluron Plus Pump shampoo and conditioner. This duo together is fantastic, 10 out of 10. I love this product. I literally have basically exclusively been using it since I bought it a few months ago, and it has done wonders on my hair. Like when I tell y'all, my hair is super hydrated after I get out of the shower or the sink, wherever you wash your hair, it don't matter. Your hair is gonna be hydrated, okay? So I do those things, and while I'm in the shower, I'm making sure I'm actually scrubbing my scalp and that I'm actually raking the conditioner through with my brush and getting every single strand coated. I also try to make sure that I focus on parts of my hair that tend to get dry faster. So for me, that's the back sections of my hair underneath where my neck are, and then the sections by my ears. Those ones tend to get dry a lot faster than the rest of my hair. So when I'm doing the conditioner, I'm making sure I'm massaging that in and really getting it in there, okay? Then, of course, if your hair is needing a little extra TLC, you can follow up with a mask. I personally, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really use deep conditioner that often, so I don't have a ton of recommendations, but I will put some that I've used and heard about down in the description box below, so feel free to check those out. I always blow dry my hair every wash day, no matter what. I'm starting off my every single style with a blow dry, including this braid out. So I go in with a leave-in conditioner, of course. Right now, my favorite leave-in conditioner that I'm using is the Curated leave-in conditioner. Super lightweight, very hydrating, and also super affordable. If you're on a budget, sometimes natural hair products can feel astronomical. Like the prices are just out of this world, but the Curated one is affordable and it gets the job done every single time. And then of course, if you're doing a heat style, you need to go in with a heat protectant. That is a non-negotiable if you're trying to have healthy hair. I use the Tresemme heat tamer spray. I've been using it for like 10 years now. It's never failed me. It's a perfect heat protectant. And so that's what I use. Then of course I go in with my blow dryer. Ultimately, the blow dryer you use doesn't matter. I like to use one that has a comb or brush attachment, but it really doesn't matter as long as your hair is dry and it's stretched. That's what matters most, and really stretched at the roots. Your ends don't need to be stretched. I mean, I stretch out my ends, but if you're somebody who's a little bit cautious about, you know, the amount of heat you put on your hair, feel free to just make sure you stretched out your roots and that the rest of your hair is dry all the way through, and I think you'll still be able to achieve really great results. As you guys saw in the beginning, I like my braid outs to have a lot of body, but also length as well. Doing my braid out on stretched, blow-dried hair allows me to have both. And I also feel like it allows my results to last much longer. And it's also quicker. If I'm being honest, doing it on blow dried hair is quicker, especially if you're somebody who has low porosity hair and your hair takes a really long time to dry. Like, you don't have all day every single week to be waiting 2-3 days to let your hair dry. That's just the truth. So I'm not afraid of my blow dryer. We're locked in for life, okay? Me, my blow dryer, and that heat tamer spray forever. It's really up to you though. I think your results can and will be good. If you do it on blow dried hair or wet hair, I think you can get decent results with this specific routine. This is the most important part of your routine. This is the part that I personally suggest you follow my instructions to a T, okay? Because this part is where it can go downhill and go downhill quickly. So first things first, you have to decide what product you want to use to set your hair for the braid out. For me, that's always going to be a mousse. Always, always, always. It's a non-negotiable for me. I've tried the creams, I've tried the gel, I've tried the custards, I've tried water and grease, I've tried all the things, and mousse is something that I continuously come back to every single time. I like definition, I also like volume. So I like to choose something that's kind of in that in-between range that will give me both hold and volume. For me, that is the Dew Most Def, and I use the original one. I love, 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 emphasize the love, the Dew Mousse Def. That is the best mousse that I use for my braid outs, and that's what I continue to go back to. Even if I ventured outside of using products from the Dew, I just keep coming back to it because it's going to get my hair right every single time. So once you've chosen the product that you want to set your hair with, it's important that you choose how many braids you want to do in your head. For me, I do 24 braids in my head, 12 in the back, 6 on one side, 6 on the other side. That's 24, and that's the perfect amount for me. If your hair is more thin, if your hair is a little bit more damaged, you're gonna need to do smaller braids in order to get results like this, a fluffy, more defined result. You're gonna have to do smaller braids because when you do the bigger, thicker braids and then you try to separate it out, it's just gonna look frizzy. Doing smaller braids allows you to still separate it while getting that definition, but you're gonna be able to have a little bit more volume. Of course, everyone's hair is different, and I don't want to speak for everybody. And honestly, even with using this routine, it's gonna be a lot of trial and error because your hair is not the exact same as mine. So with that being said, let's roll the footage of how I actually do my braid out. So I braid my hair down, making sure that I'm not borrowing hair from other sections and that I'm smoothing all the way down because we don't want any tangles, we don't want any snags, and we want to try our best to avoid those single strand knots. And then this is my biggest tip, biggest secret, biggest hack to get a uniform braid out. It's to use perm rods. I consistently put perm rods at the ends of my hair because one, I don't have the same curl pattern all the way around, but I want my hair to look uniform. So that's number one. Number two, I put myself onto this when I was when I had heat damage and I needed my straight pieces to match my curly pieces. So when I initially started doing perm rods, I didn't even put them all around my whole entire head. I used to finger coil the ends of most of my braids and then put perm rods at the ends of the pieces that were straight to kind of camouflage and disguise. But girl, I do it over my whole head now, and that has been an absolute game changer, not only in the way that my hair looks, but how long it lasts. So for my perm rods, I literally just take it down the end of my hair and I wrap it around a couple times and put it in, and that's it. Super simple, so easy, and it's like a set it and forget it kind of thing. Last but not least, this is the part that I really think sets my braid out routine above other people's routines and really puts the foolproofness in it all. I sit under my blow dry cap after I've completed everything. And I know that might seem like an excessive amount of heat, and honestly sometimes I feel like that as well, but right before I sit under my cap, I spray some more heat protectant on my head and I put my blow dry cap on until my braids are completely dry. Until my braids are completely dry. That's imperative, okay? If you take your braids down before they're completely dry, it's gonna be frizzy and you're gonna hate the result. But yeah, that's probably like my second top hack for how I get my braid out to be so good. When you're taking your braids out, you want to be sure that you take your time. You take your time, you take your time. Don't be in a rush. Take them out slowly. Make sure that you're avoiding tangles and pulling and all the things. I'm not somebody who's super big on like putting all the oils on my hands to avoid frizz. I do like big hair, so a part of big hair means that it's gonna be frizzy. I'm okay with that, and if you're okay with that, I don't see the issue here. However, I also like big hair, so I separate and fluff and stretch on day one. I genuinely do. I'm not somebody who wants to walk around with unseparated and fluffed hair for 2-3 days. I just like to go ahead and get it out the way. I like my day one hair to look like day 3 hair. You know what I mean? So that's just up to personal preference. However, I will say one trick that I learned from one of my favorite creators of all times is that when you're separating your hair, you want to try to separate it where it naturally pulls apart. So what I do is I slightly stretch out the braid a little bit and see where the separation takes place, and that's where I pull apart, and that's how I kind of avoid some additional frizz as I'm separating. Last but not least, after my hair has been unbraided and separated all around, I again like to stretch it out at my roots because I do like a little bit of length. I typically take my blow dryer and just stretch my hair out. If I want a more exaggerated elongated look, I'll go section by section or like row by row as I braided it. But if I want something that's just gonna be like a quick little fluff, then I literally take my hair, pull it out, and focus the blow dryer at the roots, and then that's it. It's just that simple. And of course, you gotta fluff it out with the pick, shake it, you know, make sure it looks decent. That's literally it, and you will get flawless results. If you don't get flawless results, I don't really know what to tell you. I think it might be a you issue, and I don't know what else to say. No, JK, if it doesn't turn out, just keep practicing. These things take time, they take patience, and they take repetition. Ultimately, like I said in the beginning, this is a routine that works for my hair and has been perfected for my hair, but I do think it's able to translate across other hair types, textures, different conditions, all that stuff. But ultimately, you have to find products that work for you. You have to find tools that are going to work for you. I'm just giving you suggestions. If it don't work, don't be in my comments talking about some, you lied. I did not lie. Don't shoot me, okay? If you try this routine, please, please, please send me your photos. You can comment them down below or DM them to me over on my socials. I would love to see the results, y'all. Like, I'm so into it. I want to see you guys try out this routine because I really genuinely think that it's perfect and that anybody could do it. So excited to continue to share all of my little secrets and hacks with y'all. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.